Ready?
All right, yeah, let's get it.
Awesome. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Jam Sesh. Today we're doing something a little different. We are doing our 1,000 subscriber Q&A special. I'm your host Jacob, and we have
Producer Matt. So I'll be here today. We'll run through this. So if you're not familiar, we actually asked on Instagram for you guys to ask us some questions, and then today we're gonna be answering them. So hopefully they're not too out of pocket, but if they are, that's okay.
and then if you didn't get your question in on this batch, I'm sure we'll do another Q&A
Yeah.
at some point. But yeah, let's get into the first question.
Oh, also one more thing. I just wanted to let you guys know this is all for you guys. You being supportive, leaving comments, sharing our videos. We want to give back to y'all, and so this is how we feel we can do that. If there's more things you want to see from us that would satisfy you, then we'll try to make that happen. Milestone after milestone. We want to give back.
Oh yeah, thank you guys. Let's get into the first question. First question: oiled up episode question mark.
Okay,
So I'm the host. I'm not the producer. So this is a producer, Matt. He'll have to answer this one. When is that gonna happen?
Okay, so first off, that was you, Jacob.
I may have asked that question.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe that will be at 10K. I think 10K subscribers would be very, very worth the possibility.
Our next subscriber, that's the special. Our next subscriber is gonna get that. Just
Okay, yeah, we're gonna send you a direct message, and we'll have Jacob in the tub oiled up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. Let's get into the real questions. What music? Oh wait, hold on. Next question, because that's yeah. What made you want to do this, and how the fuck are you so comfortable talking to the camera?
That's a you question.
That is kind of a me question. Well, you've been on some videos too, but we'll both answer how we wanted to start this.
Yeah.
I had always been not necessarily wanting to be a YouTuber or just be doing content. I've always had this love for music, and I've just always loved showing it to people. Like if I get in someone's car, I'm like, hey, listen to the song. Or if I find something I like, I'll text it to someone. I've texted Matt a bunch of songs. And so I was like, how can I incorporate this into something that can get more outreach? And that's kind of when I kind of came up with this idea. I kind of came up with this idea after Matt actually came to me about wanting to start content.
Right. Yeah, I did a little podcast thing back in the day, straight shooting with Matt. It's kind of like where the channel got its name, and I wanted to rebrand that in a new and unique way. I guess not so unique, but in a fun way. And I wanted to incorporate it with having friends with me. So yeah, Jacob was the first guy I thought of, or one of the first people I thought of to do it.
Yeah, I mean, this channel originally started out as the jam session era kind of started out as doing interviews, which we want to keep doing. It's just the fact that finding an artist who has the time for us and has the time for us, kind of the biggest thing. It's hard, especially with us growing and just how small we are right currently. And as we grow, I do want to continue doing those interviews. It's just, as of right now, it's just really hard to get on people's time.
Yeah, and we want to bring you something unique that you haven't seen before or that you won't find anywhere else. And so, we're in the talks of trying to figure out how we can do that, maybe incorporating live performance and things like that. But I don't want to give too much away on what we're planning because, things could come and go, and, then I'm making empty promises.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know, we are planning to do something bigger.
Yeah.
However that may be. But up until then, just keep tuning in and keep supporting.
But you will not lose the album reactions.
Yeah.
And the second part of that question was, how do you feel so comfortable being on camera? And for me personally, I've always been just extroverted person naturally. I mean, I'm always taking pictures of people. I'm in front of camera. I always want to be in a picture. I have no problem being on camera. And so when Matt approached me for this, I was like, hell yeah.
So you have no problem being oiled up?
No problem with being oiled up on cam. Ooh, check that link tree, guys. There might be a fun addition sometimes.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have the next question?
Yeah, we'll get it popped up.
What's y'all's letterbox top 4? That is from at Mikael Myers.
So your brother.
Yeah, my
Okay.
brother.
Um, I don't have a letterbox that I actually use. I have one. I just don't be going on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to, I don't want to be biased and give you like top 4 films ever. I'm just gonna give you like by piece.
Yeah.
I really like Fight Club. It's probably my number one. Um, Full Metal Jacket is in there. It's my number 2. I really like. I know you're gonna think of something about this. The Bike Riders is probably in the top 4. And let's see. You know what? Just because I'm gonna throw in Sinners because I really enjoyed that movie and it's been sticking with me. So that's like my top 4 right now.
Yeah.
Kind of based.
And there's nothing really wrong with throwing a current movie in there. Fuck it. If I may, why for this top 4? Like, what's the reason behind them?
Classics. Like I always, they're my most rewatched movies. Like if I think of anything I've watched over and over again, it's like those 4. And I know for a fact Sinners will be one of those movies that I like get a physical copy of so I can rewatch.
Yeah.
I have the Bike Riders and I rewatch that a lot. And like, why would you not want to watch Fight Club like all the time?
Yeah. Well, that movie, like, weirdly, like, it's in like some film circles, people are like, "Oh, you like Fight Club? That's a red flag." And but then like, it really is. It really is one of the greatest movies. Like, it's undeniable.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have such a high rating on IMDb. I guess I don't know if it has a high rating on Letterboxd.
I think it has like a 4.5, like a 4.7, something.
But like, there's
high.
a lot of movies that have a 4 or 5 on Letterboxd, right? Like,
Yeah, but Letterboxd is more for like IMDb is more for like anything past like 1990. Letterboxd contains everything like like it has like shit from like the 1950s at like a 4.2.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Let me
I
see.
guess it's kind of debatable because IMDb has quite a bit of like some of their greatest films of all time list has some films from the 50s and 60s too.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It's I think it's pretty unbiased.
On Letterboxd, Fight Club ranks as the 182nd best movie of all time.
I'm pretty sure Fight Club is probably in like the top 25 in that
Yeah.
in the IMDb one.
one.
But that's why I look at. Not that it really matters. It's just kind of like my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But let's hear yours.
My top 4. Let me pull it up. What the fuck? Sorry, one of my Letterboxd people I follow gave it a 1. Fight Club. Yeah.
Ooh. Actually,
we didn't get throw names out there,
just...
but someone did.
Wow.
So I do use Letterboxd. I use Letterboxd anytime I watch a movie. I've used it for the past, I think, like 4 years now. My top 4 goes No Country for Old Men, directed by the Coens. Iron Claw, directed by, I forget his name, Sean Durkin. He doesn't have a massive filmography, but I thought that was fantastic. Sicario is at my 3, and Scream is at my 4.
Original Scream?
Mm-hmm. OG Scream. No Country for Old Men is my favorite movie of all time. I mean, I've seen it so many times. It's hard to really pinpoint like the exact scenes. Like, oh, this is why I like it. I think the entire movie is fantastic. What are your thoughts on No Country for Old Men?
I think it's a great movie. I think it's layered, and I think that like my first time watching it, I was like, okay, that was cool up until this point, which I don't want to give too much away. Not that it's like a new movie. Like if you haven't seen it, like come on now, guys.
Yeah, it's a stupid old movie.
But I mean, overall, really good film. I think it's taken me a few watches and I need to read the book. Is what I need to do.
Me too.
To like fully, because there's so many metaphors about like the American history in it, and I think that's like what makes it cool.
Yeah.
So
there's a ton of biblical references in there too.
Yeah. So overall, really like, and that's what typically makes good movies really good. You know, they're chock full of like interesting things that you wouldn't personally think of, off the top of your head, and so now you build a world, and that's what makes movies so engaging. But yeah.
What about Sicario?
Oh, Sicario is a great film. Roger Deakins, DP that movie. Okay, yeah.
Directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve?
Yeah, Villeneuve.
Did he?
Whoa! Easily my favorite current working director. I don't think anyone currently is doing it like he is. His filmography in the past 15 years, I'd say, is insane.
Yeah.
He's just been putting out banger after
Mm-hmm.
banger. But yeah, that's my letterbox top four. Let us know your letterbox top fours because I want to judge.
Yes. Drop
Um,
them in the comments.
yes, please. Next question is: if you were to describe yourself in one song, what song would that be? Kind of a hard question.
That is a hard
A little
question.
loaded.
When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin. That
Oh,
is my all-time favorite song. It's been my all-time favorite song for a while.
mm-hmm,
I'd probably say that. Because what are you gonna do when the levee breaks?
mm-hmm,
You know, I think it's like it's kind of self-revealing. It's gonna like show you like what kind of person do you want to be when times get tough, and I just love thinking about stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I
What would say is a song that describes you based off of its instrumentation?
when the levee breaks.
When the levee breaks,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
the instrumentation from it is really good. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
would probably pick if otherwise I'd probably pick like a Nine Inch Nails song,
Yeah.
but I think there's a grittiness to that song, and there's a history to it that I think is really cool
Mm-hmm.
because it's about the dam that broke in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
uh, because of I think flooding or rain. I'm not entirely sure the story, but there's backstory to it, is what I mean.
Yeah. Um, I would say instrumentally, the song that I would say describes me is "The Hand That Feeds" by Nine Inch Nails, specifically the Faux Tech Straight Mix. It's a loaded answer, I know, but it mixes in elements of electronic music, which I've been listening to since I was a kid, as well as early rock. And that those are the two things that really describe me. I really got into rap and hip hop much later in my life, later than I wanted to. But I've grown up since birth listening to rock and electronic music. Like, so instrumentally, I'd say that's the song that pretty much describes me.
It's a great song. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the original song, and I'm sure the remix is really good
Oh,
too.
it's fantastic.
If I can go crazy in a club setting,
Mm-hmm.
or a boiler room type vibe
Mm-hmm.
type beat, yeah, I
That's
think
the
it'd be
vibe.
cool. Hmm.
Lyrically, if there's a song that were to describe me, I would say probably "Forever Young" by Bob Dylan.
Why do you think of the that '80s pop song?
Which one?
Forever young, I wanna be forever.
That's a cover. Oh no, it's not a cover, but
Yeah.
it uses elements.
Did you guys like my singing?
That was really good.
Uh, no.
But yeah, I'd probably say "Forever Young" by Bob Dylan. Lyrically, it just hits home completely. 'Cause it's not about being like, it's not about missing when you were like, it's not about missing your younger years. It's about just feeling rejuvenated constantly, just feeling like fulfilled, feeling happy. Um, and lyrically, I love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next question: Biggie Smalls or Tupac?
Tupac.
Tupac as well.
I just like him as a person more.
Mhm.
I think
It was all a dream.
think they both offer great lyricism and great beat selection.
Mhm.
I don't know how much I've never really like looked into either of their producing, if they have done any.
I have no idea.
I honestly am not that tight in
I
it.
will say, answering this question, I answer as Tupac, just purely off of West Coast bias. I don't really listen to a lot of Big or Tupac. I really don't.
I think Tupac has like this essence to him, and in his films that he played in, and just who he was
You
as
know
a
he was supposed to
person.
play as Mace Windu.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have heard that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted him to play what George wrote the script for him.
Oh, really? Oh,
Mhm.
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Tupac. Next question. If you could see any artist, dead or alive, in concert, who would it be?
Jim Morrison of the Doors.
He's still alive. He's in Cuba.
Yeah, he's in Cuba.
Apple. Do you hear Apple is actually dropping a documentary about how this guy thinks he found him in like South America somewhere, and he has like all these receipts, these crazy receipts.
Him and Michael Jackson and Elvis too.
Low
Yeah.
key. And
And
Tupac.
Tupac. Yeah.
Um, for me, I would say Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, and I know like a lot of the band members are still alive. I'm speaking just purely off of their um head vocalists and Audio Slave slash Soundgarden.
Mm.
All those like old like early 2000s, late 90s grunge bands.
Yeah.
I would do anything to be in one of those MTV Unplugged settings. Like seriously anything, especially that Nirvana one. I mean, I didn't mention Nirvana, but I mean, obviously anyone would kill to see Nirvana live.
It's usually the lead singers that pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is it? The 27 Club?
The 27 Club. Yeah.
Yeah, no mixed pass. Damn. But yeah, I would say those would be if I were to narrow it down, I would probably say Alice in Chains. Next question. Let's give that one. Oh, when you're listening to a song, what makes it a good song, quote unquote?
Production is probably my number one when it comes to a song.
Yeah.
I think that's what gives it the replayability. Lyricism can be good, but you know, I might not always feel that way about that lyrics come years later.
Yeah.
And so the feeling I get could be something that resonates with me forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I would say the same thing. Production's probably the first thing that anyone notices first when listening to music, and that easily is what tells me if it's a great song. Like the stages of listening to a song for me are I listen to production. If I really like it, I'll replay it. I'll try and understand what they're saying, and then I'll unpack the lyrics like after.
Right.
But like when I'm first listening to a song, what tells me if it's a good song, if it is if I can replay it purely off production.
Yeah.
Production wise, what catches your ear? Drums, percussion, guitar, bass.
Um Probably guitar.
Mm,
Hmm. Whether that's acoustic or electric, I'm not really picky on that necessarily,
yeah.
but I do think that that does catch the ear.
For me, I'd probably say drums. Like Turnstile, their emphasis on drums recently has been really nice. Queens of the Stone Age have a heavy emphasis on drums, and that kind of carries into rap too. Rap is all the songs are built off percussion and drums.
Hmm.
So for me, whenever I listen to a song and like the drums are awesome, I'll be like, oh yeah, this is a good song.
Those are usually the anthems
Yeah.
that come with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. Other than music, oh, we kind of answered that. What made you decide to start jam sessions? Oh yeah, we'll answer this. What made you decide to start jam sessions specifically?
We kind of already briefly talked about it, but I
Mhm.
reached out to Jacob and I just wanted to make something kind of like a podcast, but a little bit different than what I'd done prior.
Mm-hmm.
And he just was the guy for the job.
Yeah. What jam session kind of evolved into for the past couple months? I had brought this idea to Matt, and we were like, let's start doing this content just so we can get like a scheduled routine, and it's worked out. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of where jam session, where it's at right now, kind of came from. But yeah, you're the one that came up with jam session, right?
I
Or
don't-
JAM session.
I came up with the name, yeah, but I didn't know if it was gonna stick or not.
Mm-hmm.
But it stuck.
It's stuck.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Let's see. Next question is best concert you ever been to, and that comes from Max from the 808s and Cold Takes podcast.
Best concert I've ever been to.
Mhm.
I haven't been to a lot, so I'd have to be pretty biased and say like, the last concert I've been to was Smino and JID. So this has been a few years.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah, and that one was a fun one. I enjoyed it. Don't really listen to either of them that much anymore.
Yeah.
So, but that's the last one I've been to. That was the last one I enjoyed.
That's funny. I think recently I got back into Jid. I've been listening to the Forever Story recently for I don't know why, but
Has he released an album recently? I haven't been keeping
he's
up.
been teasing something, but I don't know. I know Smino is on tour right now.
Yeah, he is. I think he
Um,
dropped an album, but I haven't really been listening to him much.
Under my radar.
Yeah.
The best concert I have ever been to, and I say this unapologetically, is the Travis Scott Utopia tour. Good God, the energy in the pit was something I have never experienced before. Like it was just high energy for 2 hours, and you were just it just it's like a train that doesn't stop. Seriously, when you go to one of his concerts, and there's bias because I was in GA, and I tend to really kind of only be in GA because it's my favorite place to be. Um, I would say music and like soundscape wise, I would say Deftones. That I went to that. I want to say 2 months ago, a month ago, um, and that was just generational for me. I had no complaints. They had an amazing set list. But yeah,
I don't have anything else to say about that.
awesome. Um, Next question is, what's the most underappreciated film of all time?
Off the top of my head, the first thing that came to me was La Haine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a French film that took place, and then it was shot in the 90s, but it was also a story that had happened in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
a true story, well, loosely based off real events.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'm sure in France it's a very popular film, but I am, but I'm not that sure because I tell people about it, and a lot of people don't know.
Yeah. I only know Lahane from it being in the Criterion collection. Not to sound pretentious, but like that's how I kind of find all of my like obscure artsy movies is through the Criterion collection. But I agree. I love Lahane. I think it's one of the best shot films of all time.
I think if you're willing to sit through a film that is in French, I don't know if they have any American dubbed ones, but if they do, maybe give that a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Really great film. I think overall you would really enjoy it if you um, like a lot of realism,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it relates to the American way of life right now too.
Yeah.
So I think they it kind of comes together. I think you'll find some relatability in it. Give it a watch if you can.
Soon you won't be able to watch Lahane.
Oh, because of the tariffs. Yeah.
For me, I would say the most underappreciated movie of all time. I'm looking directly in the camera in this. Is Joseph Kosinski's scored by Daft Punk Tron Legacy. I truly believe this movie was so unbelievably ahead of its time. I think it is fantastic. Realistically, it's like a if I were to actually baseline it, it's like a 4 out of 5 star movie. Like realistically, for me, it's a 5 star movie. I love that movie. I watch it probably once a month. Granted, the Daft Punk score really does carry that movie, but I think the performances are great. The VFX on that are fantastic. It truly it looks insane. Um, and I'm really excited for where they take this franchise with Ares, and that comes in a couple months. But I love Tron Legacy. I've loved that since I was a fucking kid. I had like toys. I had like the little disc thing too when I was a little kid. Fucking love that movie. And everyone shits on it from back then. But now, recently, I don't know why everyone's loving it again on TikTok and Twitter. But I've been there. I've been a day one Tron Legacy defender.
I haven't watched it since the year it came out.
Oh, you would love it.
I might have to rewatch it.
Yes. Next question. What's your guys' biggest regret slash best accomplishment?
I think the first thing that came to my mind is just not doing this sooner.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
I mean, like, I feel like I'm a little too young to be having some big regrets,
Yeah.
but I mean, they could happen. I just don't think I do.
Yeah. At my age
Young age.
of 22, I mean, same thing with what Matt said. I don't really have a biggest regret, like life wise. I mean, my biggest regret again is just not starting this sooner. Um, Now that I feel so comfortable doing it. And so I would also say this is probably going to grow into my best accomplishment or like my biggest accomplishment. I want it to.
Yeah.
Um, you can't be dead ass right now. um, I would say this is my biggest accomplishment though, and I want it to grow in. I want it to affirm itself in the future as my biggest accomplishment.
Yeah, I think as like as long as you continue to do anything that you're passionate about, I don't see why it wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like my idea about it. I mean, everything I do that like personally, I don't know if you guys are aware, but I also do like other stuff too. Like I
Yeah.
do filmmaking and
Producer Matt's out there.
photography. So, um, but if you didn't know, now you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, if you're not doing it and you want to, there's nothing holding you back.
Yeah.
Your phone is a great tool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I started. Well, that's like the original sparking thing. I was texting someone, and they were like, I was telling them how I wanted to review movies, and just like that was like kind of how it started. And they're like, "Why don't you?" And I'm like, "You're right." That's what I would tell anyone watching this. It's just like there is quite literally nothing holding you back at all. Just try it. Nothing will hurt you. Let's get to the next one. We had a request. They were wondering, can you do a jam session where you make jam and listen to music? Yes. We'll keep that on the back burner. I know Matt loves that idea, so.
How do we do that?
We could listen to jam. We could squash it with our toes like wine, and just have headphones on and just go crazy.
I think we're gonna have to add that to the Patreon.
Yeah, we need a feet cam. No socks.
No socks.
Unclipped nails. No shower for 2 days. Next question. Why do you love Kanye so much? I think
Who asked that?
At Lil Marie. Now, if I'm using my context clues, I think this question's for producer Matt.
Yeah. Okay.
Granted, I do love Kanye, but this is my go.
Rose, I like Kanye West. I don't love Kanye West. I think.
What about 3 years ago?
No, I actually didn't like him then.
Oh, really?
I didn't like Kanye 3 years ago. I've grown to like him more. Not that I didn't listen to his music. It's just more that I didn't like who he was. And then after a certain point, I'm like, I'm just going to ignore all the things he does and just enjoy the music for what it is. And every time I find out more information about his production and how he's made certain stuff, it just made me appreciate how like out there he is when it comes to his artistic ability.
I didn't know your Kanye journey was so recent.
Yeah, I mean, I've always listened to like his albums. Like I've deep dived him a while back, but I think what really made me enjoy him more was his confidence.
Yeah.
And I kind of like embraced that.
It's funny because he does have a good like mindset. It's just he doesn't apply it well, but he has a good mindset.
I think he's incredibly bad at speaking in publicly.
and saying bad is an understatement.
I mean, do I think he's a lot of other things, including like anti-Semitic? Then yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. But I don't really know the guy, so I think his music is great, and I think what he brings to the table is great. But outside of that, I think he's kind of just he's there for entertainment.
Yeah, I've been seeing that he tends to like gravitate to like what's the hottest thing right now. Like he's doing like streams with like just famous like big streamers, which got taken down after 30 minutes because he was talking crazy on there.
What did he say to Cardi? He was like,
I don't remember the Cardi one, but I remember the Kim one where he was like, I can't believe I had kids with Kim. I should have had kids with Paris Hilton or something like that.
Oh my god!
I was like,
no, he
that's
was like,
crazy.
He was like telling Kaisa now. He's like, if you don't get me on your show, I'm gonna block you. I was like,
oh yeah, he said it with a crazy text.
Yeah.
He was like, I want this to be the background, and it's a swastika. Insane.
No, yeah. He's just
the cat's meowing.
Yeah. He's just a lot of things. But if you put all that past and listen to like some of his past work, I think you'll be able to appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But if you can't put that past it, that's also fine too.
Yeah, at this point,
I think that's like
because like the whole thing of like separate the art from the artist, obviously I agree with, but it gets to a point where it's like It's a little much, man. It's a lot for me to separate from you right
Yeah.
now.
I honestly didn't think we were gonna get into this Kanye conversation,
Mhm.
but I mean,
The fans were wondering.
I guess so.
And I say this as someone that I have Kanye vinyls. I've loved Kanye for genuinely years. We had a friend, ex ex guest Lucy.
Ex guess like she's not allowed on anymore.
Well, unfortunately, our close friend Lucy moved away, so
Yeah.
we do want to have her back on, but we don't know if it'll ever happen logistically. But she had put me back on to Kanye back in 2018, back in high school, so like 7 years ago, and like ever since then, I was like, dude, I fucking love Kanye. I was buying his records, this and that, and then like in the past like 4 years, I'm like, ah. But I still listen to his stuff. It's still great.
Yeah. I mean, what he's been putting out recently when it comes to like the bully like leaked, or I don't know, he leaked it himself. I don't know.
He dropped down to two.
I skimmed through that and I was like, it was good, but it wasn't like I don't know. He's not really on my radar right
Yeah.
now. I don't think any new music is on my radar really.
Mm-hmm.
But we can get in the next question.
Yeah. Can you do a Taylor Swift or a Billie Eilish vinyl / record?
Billie Eilish vinyl for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift, you guys might have to like beg us to do that.
Yeah, the thing is with Taylor Swift, everyone. Hey, don't want to get attacked by the Swifties, but I will say it is really hard with the baggage that she brings and like the hate that she already gets. It's really hard to sit someone down and be like, hey, here's 22 songs from this artist, and lyrically they're all going to say the same thing, and production wise they're all kind of going to sound the same, but listen to all 22 of these. And granted, you could say the same thing about like Ken Carson, like Playboi Carti, which I agree with, but Taylor Swift has been doing this for almost 2 decades now, and so it's really hard to sit someone down and be like, hey, here's 8 albums of 20 plus songs that all kind of sound the same. Go at it, give us a review or give us your reaction to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think creatively, I think we have other albums we could do that kind of resonate with us more.
I would say if it's like a new release from her,
I
give it a
think
listen.
Billie Eilish could resonate with more people than Taylor
Oh
Swift.
yeah, oh yeah.
I think we'd be catering to a certain part of our audience if we do that, and that just might not want to align with us, to be honest with you. But you know, maybe we'll crack down and we'll get like someone off the street to listen to it with us.
Yeah, I like you said though, I do want to tap into Billie Eilish. I think production wise, her work is fantastic. Whatever Phineas does, or I don't know if she self produces either, but I know Phineas does a lot of her production. But her production is awesome. It's
If you want to
really
listen to, if you want to hear Billie Eilish on this show, leave a comment down in the description.
yes, let us know.
Yeah.
And kind of just any female artist. I want to cover more female artists. It's just
Yeah.
I feel like, unfortunately, granted, like we said, we wanted to start the show earlier. When we did start the show, it was kind of after all of the female artist hype that came out of like the end of last year. The Chapel Roans, the Sabrina Carpenters,
Charlie XCX.
Charlie XCX, yeah. Billie Eilish dropped an album too. We kind of it sucks because we missed that boat of the 2024, which was like the female pop like rise.
I mean, 2024 was a great year for music generally. Yeah. So I think that like we did start a little bit late, and that's kind of like why I guess we can call it a regret. But overall, I mean, we're here now, and so why stop?
Let us know. We will cover it if you guys want it.
Yeah.
Next question. Oh, will you guys do movie reviews?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see why not. I mean, I'd like to do it in a way where you can like have someone sit down with you and watch the movie.
Yeah.
But trying to condense that so it's not like a 2.5 hour episode.
Yeah.
Watching some old, German film.
Yeah.
Is like that's kind of the thing. Like, what kind of movies do you guys want to see? Because we always consider these things. It's not like we just kind of like we don't pick from a hat, y'all. Like we actually like we try to like scheme up what you guys want to see and what we want to do too, and kind of come and meet with like a compromise of some kind. But yeah,
I do want to go into movie reviews at some point. I will say to anyone that is watching this, let us know down below. The biggest struggle we're having with that is like exactly what Matt said. How do we condense a 2-hour film into a watchable like 20-minute, 30-minute video without us also kind of just showing the movie. So
You
it's
know
kind
what?
of hard.
We can just do it. Who do you want to see on there? And
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Give us a movie.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. If you want to see Mission Impossible,
Let us know.
yes.
Let me see. So that's just from that slide. We're kind of wrapping up. Let's see. I put out a one for today, so let's see anything on there. Cool. Another what inspired you guys to start. Thank you, everyone that's asking that. Someone said, "What is your favorite hot dog toppings?"
What is my favorite hot dog toppings, guys? This is groundbreaking questions.
I saved the best for last. I'm gonna judge hard.
Chili cheese. Chili cheese dogs. No? It is what it is, man.
I want a pickle. I want pickled onions. I want pickled radishes.
Wait, we get to choose multiple?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I want pickled tomatoes. I want pickled hot dog. Nah, I'm just playing.
You're a glizzy gobbler, bro.
I am a baseball guy. I love me some glizz. But yeah, what would you put on a dog? How would you decorate a dog? These are questions we need to answer.
Chili and the cheese on top, or cheese, then chili, then more cheese.
Mm.
And then you go from there.
I love me a Sonoran dog. I love me a dog with bell peppers, onions.
No, yeah, those are good too. Yeah.
Like crumbly cheese, the bacon wrap. You always find them for like $20 outside of a ballpark, but they're bomb.
Those Chicago dogs are good too, but
Yeah.
you don't get them very often here in Arizona.
No.
So, you know of any Chicago style restaurants that serve like, burgers
Authentic.
and hot dogs? Let me know.
Portillo's?
Yeah, is Portillo's Chicago based?
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Those are good actually.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.
We'll see you guys next time. Watch Tron Legacy.
All right, peace.